Hey music fans, as a roadie I had this great opportunity to tour with all these bands. I wrote a book about my experiences on the road and it was the #1 new release on Amazon and Bios and it's now sold millions of copies on Kindle. I'm Joel Roadie and this is my podcast, Party Like a Rockstar. This next episode is with my buddy Mike Davenport. Mike is the bass player of the band the Ataris. We did a couple videos together, and I hope you guys enjoy them. I also want to let you guys know I did release my second book now. It's called XEMU Pulled My Finger. If you guys are interested in checking it out, the description is down below to the link to Amazon, and you guys can do so. There is an audiobook. I narrated it. I think it's pretty funny. Personally, I think you guys will dig it. I hope so. The book is on Kindle and in softcover and hardcover. I hope you guys like it if you guys check it out. Let's jump into Mike Davenport's reactions, and let's see what Mike has to say. Back here with Mike Davenport, my buddy here. I'm all swagged out. Got the thing.
I like it.
The record in hand.
You got the record before it came out.
I did, but I wasn't supposed to show it to anybody. So
no, you weren't. You were not.
I listened to rules. I listened to rules, and but I have watched a video with you. But I watched it on your. I'm just being straightforward with everybody. I watched it on your cell phone, which was cool, but it's not exactly a perfect immersive experience. So here I am in my studio now. We're gonna watch it for the first time together. In a proper setting here. I've got the monitor and the speakers and all the great stuff. So
you haven't watched it at all in your studio?
No, the only time I've seen it was with you the other day at your house with a bunch of us, and I was a little intoxicated. So I did pay attention, but not wholeheartedly. So now we're going to watch it. We're going to watch it together, and I'll tell you what I think, but it's fun to do it with you. So we'll give it a go.
Awesome. And can I tell a little backstory first about this is our new single. It's called Car Song, and it came out about 10 days ago, and the video world premiered on Billboard magazine 1 week ago. There you go. And it's our first single in 17 years.
Dude, that's actually pretty crazy. I didn't know that part. That's pretty cool.
It's a long time.
Glad to have you back, Michael. Glad to have you back.
Thank you. Well, we played all the old songs for 17 years, as you know, but now we have a whole new record, almost 2 records worth of material done. So,
killer.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's jump into this and let's see how good it is.
All right, you tell me.
All right.
Oh, man.
Now you rest amongst the rust of these roadside monuments. In all their former glories, the driving nights that came and went. You fought on hard through rain-beaten nights, past the shadows of state lines. Now this victory dance, it belongs to you and I.
All right. So, hold on. Double helix. So I'm going to hit you with a bunch of questions. First comment, though, is the bass should have definitely been louder in the mix.
I
My
think it's fine.
My
It's
honest
fine.
questions. My honest questions. The cop at the end. Who's that guy?
So that's Bob Hogue. Bob Hogue is our producer. He records everything that we've been doing, and he is an integral part of the band. He's been a friend of ours for almost the entirety of our 29-year career. He was the drummer for a band called Pollen. That band actually hadn't played a show in 20 years and opened for us at the House of Blues. We got them to come out of retirement to open over there. But yeah, Bob records all of our new music. He is the engineer and owns the recording studio, which is in Arizona there where we filmed the video.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. People in the photo, is that Chris's parents or who are those people?
No. That's so you don't know Breaking Bad because you don't watch TV.
Yeah, we talked about
but-
the Volvo already. I'm like, why pick a Volvo? Like,
Yeah. That's Walter White. Breaking Bad is the most infamous series ever in the history of television. Voted #1 on all these lists. I love Breaking Bad. I love Better Call Saul. That that's Walter White in the photo and his wife in the photo. Basically, it's their Airbnb, and they say don't go in the garage. You don't know this about Breaking Bad, but there's lots of Easter eggs in there. Not only was the Volvo bought from the set of Breaking Bad. It's autographed by Bryan Cranston under the visor there. It's also throwing pizzas on the roof. That's a Breaking Bad homage. The blue meth in the trunk, Breaking Bad homage. And at the end, that's Walter White driving away with the Volvo. You have to know the series to know all that stuff, Joel.
Okay, I know them. I've heard of the TV show.
I know that. But you have to know the Easter eggs, right? You don't know them, is what I'm saying. Is if you're a Breaking Bad fan, you love all that. I have people telling me all the time, "Oh, do you know this about the pizza on the roof? That was improvised," which I didn't know until after we did the video. But yes, it was improvised, and then we did the same thing. So.
Marty Robbins, is that a Breaking Bad thing or?
It is a Breaking Bad thing, and if you notice on the dashboard there's Better Call Saul attorney cards too.
Oh, that's cool. I actually did watch that show a couple times, and even though I didn't get that into it, the acting was fantastic.
It's the acting throughout both of those series is fantastic, and that's why those are considered the greatest series of all time, because the acting is fantastic, and the writing, the scripts, everything about it. So Chris, my singer, is very big fan. I've seen every episode, but he is a super fan, and that's why he bought the car off of the set after they closed everything down.
Cool.
Because they're no longer making them anymore.
Yeah. No, well, I know the show's over. That's why they did that Better Calls. Anyway, so I don't want to pat Chris on the back too much because I know you guys, but as a person, his voice sounds to me like it's kind of evolved a bit.
It has. I heard a great analogy the other day. It was like it's turned in almost into the Ataris meets Springsteen kind of a thing. And I know that's getting a little too rocky, but yeah, Chris has a great voice, and
it sounds so good, but it has this nice gravelly sound to it that I don't remember from the other stuff. And I think it just comes with us, we're a few years older. So, and then when I first heard the song, maybe it was 6 months ago on your telephone. It was that Roadie, and I had this hook in my head for a couple days. It's a great hook, man.
It is. It's actually that song actually helped us to obtain, as you know, new management about a year ago, and That song is already doing wonders on the radio across America, and doing surprisingly better than even we thought. And we knew it's a great song, right? But it's really been a pleasant surprise, the reception we're getting. And we have a famous song called "In This Diary," and a lot of my favorite response to Car Song is that it's like "In This Diary's older brother," right? And so, and I think it's a good analogy. Chris writes these great. We always considered ourselves a summer band, and it's Car Song is such a great, like, roll the windows down, drive really fast and crank the music up. And that's what that is. It's like a summertime jam anthem, right?
Yeah. It's good. Fun question. The cops, the real cops. So, did you ask them for releases, or no? We didn't even try.
No. We
What
were out on a Indian reservation outside of Tempe, and we were filming in these gutted houses and stuff. And then the ice cream truck pulled up. That was none of that was planned, and we all were like ice cream and ran after it. And then the cops pulled up. And they were like, "Do you guys have a permit?" And we're like, our video director and the crew, the video crew, they were like, "No, we don't have a permit." And they're like, "Hey," one of the cops, believe it or not, was like, "Oh my God, you're the Ataris." And we're like, "What?" We're like, he's like, "I bought So Long Astoria when I was in college. It was my favorite record. I played it." So we lucked out, right? One of the two cops was a fan, and then we didn't know. I'm talking to them, as you see in the video, right? And we didn't know that the producer and director were still filming. They were doing that all on the sly. So they mitzeled out their faces, their badges, and all that stuff. But yeah, that's a true story with no permission.
I got a fun one. So years ago, I shot a movie. I shot it all, most of it inside the same house, and the neighbors called the cops on us, and the cops come over. They were concerned we were shooting pornography. That's what they were.
Right.
We're in the valley. So the cops come in, and I'm like telling about the movie, and I said Angelo from Fishbone was in the movie, and the guy's like, "Oh, dude." And then they did the same thing. They were totally cool to me. And
Yeah.
they were like, "We'll do a take. We want to see you do it." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, 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 yeah." So we do a take, and it's just like heavy scene. And the cop's walkie goes off, and everybody just looks at the guy like, "What the hell, dude?"
Oh, that's
And
funny.
the cop's like, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." But it was funny in these transitions of like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Down
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
"Oh, hey, I'm a fan." Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. The cop, you could tell the cop was trying to ride the line between he had to do his job. He really wanted a picture, and the most they could do was like shake our hands, right? But
Yeah.
you could tell he wanted a picture, he wanted something, but he can't do that as a police officer. He's not allowed to be like fan, especially when we're doing something we're not supposed to be doing, which is filming on a reservation. So somebody called the cops on us for sure because we were running through these abandoned houses and stuff. So
So what's it like? I think you took a break. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but 10 years you took a break from performing on stage, you yourself, or with the Ataris?
no. I played in Versus the World that whole time, and
What
and
was the break? Because you had a break where you weren't on. Because I went to the show because you made a deal. You took a break from personally playing on stage for how long?
I did. I have twice in my life. I took a break for 3 years, in 2007 to 2010, and then I did it again from 2018 to 2022. So I've done two little breaks in my 30-year career of playing music, and I do those, and they're really helpful to reinvigorate me because, as you know, I'm the business guy in the band, and it takes a lot to not only I do tour managing besides the bass playing, and it takes a lot for me to like invest all that into me. So it's a way to recharge my inspiration. How's that? So
That sounds good. I thought it was a longer period of time for some reason. So I was going to say, what's it like to be on stage after all these years? But to switch it up then to make it more interesting, my question is, what's it like playing new material with a band that you you really grew up with, truthfully. You guys have known each other so long, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you grew up with your
I'll let you know. I'll let you know in about a week. We haven't played Car Song live ever, and we are playing it live from now on. That's the way it's got to be. And our first show since the song has been released is a giant festival, Slam Dunk in London, and that is 10 days from now, and that'll be the first time we play it. So, why don't you ask me again after I get back from my European tour?
So is there nervousness, or you've played so much, not really?
It's always nervousness, man. I mean, I don't care how small. We just played Alaska. It was like 700 people because Alaska is Alaska, right? And I don't care. There's always, I guess I wouldn't call it nervous anymore as much as like tension. And even Chris feels it too before every show. It doesn't matter how big, how small. It's one of these things where you always want to give the best performance that you can, and you want to represent your career, because being in a band that people grew up on, that they love, our fans love the songs, right? And you never want to let them down. And that's the thing about it is you want to give them the best performance, because like Alaska is a great example. We'd never been up there 29 years. We went up there. We wanted to give those 700 people the best version of the Ataris we could, and we try to do that every single night, and we have for almost 30 years.
So though, going back here, I never did a van tour. We talked about it the other day, you and I.
Yeah.
But you have. And so when it becomes routine because you're just loading the shows up on one another, wouldn't you lose that nervousness as it just becomes part of your daily life? And
I don't think so. I mean, we did all that. We have gone from the van tour to the RV to the bus, back down to the van, and it's one of those things where I don't know. Maybe there are musicians that don't do that, but I can speak for Chris and myself. We still feel nervous before every show, no matter how big or small.
wow. And John's a lot tougher than you guys. He don't care.
He's a New Yorker.
He's
You
a
know what
New
I mean? They're way tougher than us. So
All right, well, we'll leave on a good note. We'll praise John. John always deserves praise.
he does.
But if you have a few minutes, I was hoping to play you a new track that I found that I really like a lot and to see what you think about it.
Let's do it. Let's do one of yours, one of mine.
Okay, cool. Hey, the podcast is over. What are you still doing here? Well, while you're here, like and subscribe. Thanks.